Alright, here is an explanation of the two problems that popped up most on the Google form. If there's other problems you have questions on, please don't hesitate to email me or message me and let me know, and we can work together to get those sorted out. So first thing I want you to notice when you look at this triangle is that this is a side-side angle triangle. So since it's side-side angles, we know that that is the type of triangle that causes the ambiguous case. So I need you to get that in your head for your in-class assignment tomorrow. Is that if it's the ambiguous case, that means that I have the possibility of this being two triangles. So I might need to, I'm going to have to split it after I get my first answer. So the first answer that I can find, I've got these two that go together, and then I've got this one. So the first thing I'm going to be able to find here is angle B. So it's going to be sine of 37 over 12 equals sine of B over 16.1. And then we've got to cross multiply. Equals 12 sine B. Then I'm going to divide the 12 to the other side. And I'll get sine B is equal to, that's going to turn into a decimal. You get 0.8074. And then we have to do sine -1 on both sides to get the sign to cancel. And that gives me the first possibility for B. So I get 53.8, which I'm just going to round up to 54. So we're going to say the first possibility for B is that it could be 54, but this, remember, is where we have to split it. We have to find our possibility for the second possibility for B, which we get by subtracting that first answer from 180. So if I do 180 minus 54, we get my second possibility here is 126. So then we have to solve each of these problems separately. The next thing I can find on the one side is I can find C1 by doing 180 minus the 54 plus the 37 they gave us originally. So that tells me that C1 is 89. And then the last thing we need to find for that triangle is we need to find little c. To find little c, we have to go back to the law of sines. We do sine of big C over little c equals, we're going to go with the 37 and the 12 again. And then we just got to cross multiply and solve. So that's 12 times the sine of 82, or 89, equals c times the sine of 37. And then we're going to divide by sine 37. And then I've just got to type that in my calculator to get the first possibility for little c. So then my calculator gives me that is 19.9 for C1. Alright, then we have to approach the other side of the problem. The B2 will work in the triangle because 126 plus 37 is not over 180, so we are going to go ahead and find C2 for the second triangle, and we're just going to subtract those two angles added together. Again, you're using that original angle, the 37. Don't go back and try and use the 54. That won't work. You're adding the 126 plus the original angle 37 and subtracting from 180, and that gives me that C2 is 17. And then I have to find little c2 the same way I found it for the other triangle, excuse me. We're doing sine of big C, which is now 17, over little c. And then we're going to use the 37 and the 12 again. And then I'm just going to cross multiply. And then divide by the sine 37 to get the c by itself. And you should get that c is equal to 5.8, and that's again c2. So that gives us our two sets of answers. This is a two triangle problem. Please make sure you look through this to make sure you understand when to do two triangles. It's only when it's side-side angle, and how to do two triangles, because you'll need to know that for tomorrow's in-class assignment. Alright, there's one more we had a question about, and that was 35, was finding the area of this. So you needed to use the area formula I gave you from this section, was if it's side angle side, which if we drew this out right now, and I looked at this picture, A, B, C, angle B is 36, little a is 3, little c is 6. This is a side angle side triangle, which means we can just do 1/2 of the two sides multiplied together times the sine of b. That's what the formula says. So that's just 1/2 of the two sides, 3 and 6, times the sine of the angle, 36. You really just have to be able to plug that into your calculator to get an answer. And you should get 5.229, I forget what it had you round to, but 5.29 yards squared, 5.3 yards squared, something along those lines. Okay? So hopefully this helps you understand where you may have had some difficulties. This is how I'm going to continue it for a while. We'll see how it goes. On occasion, we might do a couple live homework help sessions. I will also start to have some after-school availability, probably starting Wednesday this week, that if you had major questions, you could just come into a video Google chat or a Zoom chat, and then we could talk there. All right, hang in there, guys, and we'll be back together tomorrow.